the blockchain. So the blockchain is kind of an underlying technology inside of the Bitcoin network, and it's a very complicated subject. So we'd love to have you guys chat with us to talk about this, to all correct each other. But the Bitcoin blockchain is probably the more interesting facet of the technology that we like than actually the coins themselves, because we know the coins are going to be useful and we're going to make money. I hope you're going to make money. We're going to help you make money if you like us. And but the blockchain is what's really powerful in the background. Like I was kind of trying to explain that to you earlier today about robots paying other robots, and they would use the blockchain to do so.
Blockchain technology is a lot more than just Bitcoin. You're totally right that they can use it for robots or for running computer programs off of the blockchain itself. You know, anything, the sky's the limit. I always say that is the technology in my lifetime that is the most amazing. I mean, maybe there's something else that'll blow that away, but the blockchain, I don't even fully understand it, and I'm in awe of the possibilities that it holds within. And I can't wait for all the smart coders and stuff to continue to break into that.
A blockchain is basically a ledger. So a blockchain, think about this. It's like a ledger book where every transaction is stored in the blockchain and it's permanent. You can go back through all the transactions and it's all stored in that blockchain. And that's what a blockchain is.
Yeah, if you can see behind me, that is a block right now. So that's how many blocks of Bitcoin. There goes to millions. That's how many blocks have existed, that number right there. And every 10 minutes, a new block happens. All of those transactions you're seeing fall right now, million, is going inside of that block. And that's being hashed on from the miners. And that's what makes it immutable. A million. So what that's doing is connecting each block together, which creates a chain. Because number in there, let's say it ends in A31, the new block starts with A31, which connects it to the next block, and so on and so forth. So you can't
think of it as like a notebook. Like so say the block is like a sheet on your notebook, and you write down all the transactions on that sheet, and once the sheet's done and filled up, that's the block. And then you go on to the next block, and once that sheet's all filled in, you go on to the next sheet. So that sheet is kind of like the block.
Right. And that's what makes Bitcoin immutable and unchangeable and permanent marker and unhackable, because you can't change that sheet of paper, because you would have to then change all the sheets of paper behind that and so on and so forth. And each transactions backwards creates that much more difficulty.
And it's uncentralized. All these transactions aren't kept in Bank of America headquarters. They're kept all over the world, and every single miner has to agree upon the blocks in order for them to be accepted. And if those transactions aren't accepted, then they're turned around and they're said, no, we don't like this one, so this one's not going to go through.
Absolutely. All the transactions are public. You can click on any transaction anywhere in the blockchain, see every transaction that's ever been transacted. All of mine, all of Caleb's, none of Mike's, all of anybody's.
Yeah, but is it tied to a user ID? So is that transaction tied to a user ID or product, or is it just showing that this amount of Bitcoin transferred from here to here?
That's all it shows you. And that's what makes it so secretive, because you absolutely have no idea who that person is that moved all those Bitcoins.